bigger
Okay,
because the politicians,
one
they have
example,
their.
yeah, one example, IT Titan for big company in the States, and just you told me last week, French government target one company to get tax from them, and Trump is also target those companies. They get a lot of profit too much, so they need to consider for some parliament members uh, claims they should be divided or they have to reduce their profit. They got too big. So this
Yeah.
is one example for gaps generated by those companies. So first of all, IT company are targeting. So this is one of the solution the government
Right.
people target for those companies.
But what you see is that, okay, where France is trying to leverage tax on a company like Facebook,
Right,
Trump is immediately
right, right,
hitting back,
right.
and
But yeah,
he's threatening to raise the imports of wine into the United
exactly,
States from France.
exactly. But Trump in the state California IT titan, he is targeting how to manage those companies, right? And so this
Right.
global level is they try to looking for how to generate money for ordinary people, right? This is unbalancing. The government themselves they feel threat from populist people, so they try to
Yes.
need to consider how to improve majority people the life level and how to improve their level, standard level. But actually, just what you said, okay, real estate cost increasing, they're going to losing job. What's going to do? This is the next step. Democracies. There are certain level of crisis of democracy, right? So we need to consider for them. But okay, one example is of course education gives them skill, but it takes time. Not easy to
Yes.
go. So
Yeah.
what is the most
And
difficult?
what and when you think about it, basically, okay, so education is important, but if you have limited money to spend um, on education and you want to do something, then I think it's very logical to invest in children, to invest money into children because their impacts, the effect of having a flexible workforce is much higher when you invest in children. But what about everybody who is like 40, 50, 60 years old? Why would we invest our money in them? Because basically, the return on investment will be low. And in a more and more market driven system, it doesn't make sense to invest in these people. So all the middle and middle-aged and higher aged people, they will not benefit from these kinds of investments and these kinds of education schemes.
But what else kind of action we should take for them? Because those people, majority, especially after World War II, the 60s or 70s, big numbers, they are still exist. So we cannot handle those people just only pension plan. So we should consider for them to do something, generate money. Otherwise, government cannot save them.
Right. Well, there's one thing that is relatively good news for these people is that everybody understands that if the gap between rich and poor becomes too big, then society will change in a very negative way. Now, in Japan, maybe this is a little bit further away than in other countries, but you remember the talk show that we looked at last Saturday when they were talking about the difference, the gap between rich and poor, and what to do about it. Even Joe Peterson, who is a very much right wing person, he recognized that actually for the rich it is super important to make sure that they do not keep everything for themselves, that they do share and make sure that the gap doesn't become too big, because if it becomes too big, the system becomes unstable and they will turn it upside down. They will basically take control and change the system. So that's a risk that everybody sees. Everybody who has lots of money, they will be wary for the fact that sooner or later the poor majority will basically flip the system upside down. So that means that there will be money available. There will be interest to actually keep the system going. So there will be some budget to actually subsidize or sponsor or support the lower class, the losers of globalization, the losers of the capital markets. So with that money being available, universal basic income is not that far-fetched.
I don't understand what you mean. You mean the rich people redistribute money to poor people?
Yes.
I can't believe that.
They will have to.
But I can't
They will
believe
have
it.
to.
Rich people,
Well,
they try to making money more, like a wealth fund or Son's vision fund. Everybody never try to. They try to
But they
increase
have
their
to.
investment, but they never try to redistribute money. They try to increase their investment fund, right?
What do you think that drives people like Trump, etc.? So yesterday I was looking at a video where in Germany, like a very, very rich real estate developer is seriously investing or seriously involved in a lot of social projects, because it creates tax reductions.
Like a
It's really
Microsoft,
good.
Microsoft and Bill Gates, and
Right.
they paid a lot of money, but
Why do they do
just I
that?
tell you, just 1% of his asset, less than
Hmm.
1% of his asset, not
Okay.
50%. Okay, so if
But
we're going to save those former middle income people, we need to need money of those people, majority of money to spread all over the people. Otherwise, nothing improves. Right?
well,
Donation,
no,
philanthropy, it doesn't improve the problem.
no, but it's not only philanthropy, because like looking at Trump, for example, he actually spends many years in his life becoming a politician and becoming politically involved.
You said Trump?
Yeah,
Oh, you're
it's not
manipulating a lot.
philanthropy, but more and more people are becoming politically involved, and
Do
what
you,
they're trying to
do you
do is to
believe
make sure.
him? Do you believe him?
Oh, no. I don't say that everybody is what they're trying to do is
Yeah,
to
okay,
really have the
of
best
course, he
interest.
just scattered money to get
But
his
what
political position. I understand, but this is objective is different. He never thinking about save middle income people. Never think about it. Still now he never thinking about it. He tried to keep his position.
Oh, sure. I do believe that, but he, at least, I think what they're trying to do is to basically make sure and appeal to people who are losing out in society, to make sure that the lower class, the people who are losing, the middle class.
Like we need to consider for French government thinking about that. The French government certain level of revenue company, profit company, they're going to 3% tax for them. Also,
You know what?
rich company, big revenue company, they try to increase corporation tax. This sort of thing is one solution.